getting on to today's video. We've recently had a cabinet shuffle here in BC. I'm just going to touch on this a little bit. New slate of 27 BC cabinet ministers has been sworn in, including some people who are quite experienced and some people who are new to the job. So David Eby is saying that this job of serving in government and serving on the executive council is an awesome and serious responsibility. British Columbians calling us to do it with integrity. This is what he said on Monday. So the new, whatever, dude, you barely eked out this win. And I had done several videos on sort of voters, vote tabulators and all that type of thing. And certain platforms don't like it when you talk about voting either, if you know what I mean. So they don't like you to call attention to certain things. But whatever, if you want us to accept that you won, whatever, you won. Although I talk to many people every day who just cannot believe it, but whatever. The new BC NDP government holds the 47 seats that they needed, 47 out of the 93 seats in the legislature, and the BC and the NDP MLAs were sworn into office on November 13th. Let's take a little look at some of these folks here. Here they're all getting sworn in. You'll see some new faces, they're all, yeah, here they all, aren't they earnest? Okay, yeah. Some changes have been made. Let's just have a look here. Oh, there's Adrian Dix, and there's Eby with his Eby scoliosis. Mike Farnworth, Adrian Dix, Ravi Kalan, Bowen Ma, and this is Nikki Sharma. And that's Josie Osborne. She's going to be the new health person. Bowen Ma was the Minister of Infrastructure, Minister of Emergency Management. Do you remember that? Do you remember her when the shoe swap thing happened and she would be like, just stay in your homes or whatever, do what we say. And it's like, I don't know, like people who are going through wildfires and have fought fires and live in certain residential area, they know what to do. I would trust their instincts. If something happened to me in my house here, I would trust my instincts at how to save my family. I would not sit there and just wait for the government to tell me what to do. But I remember her watching clips of her going, I don't like what she's saying. But anyway, now she's a Minister of Infrastructure. Ravi Kalan is still in with housing. Mike Farnworth is the Minister of Transportation and Transit now. And Nikki Sharma, someone I don't like, we don't know much about these people. I don't know. She is the pretty big job, man. She's the Deputy Premier. So I decided to go, okay, let's just have a look at her Twitter. So the first thing that you'll see is East Hastings. I mean, that's her riding, Vancouver Hastings, right? She's a lawyer, advocate for people, the planet, and a stargazer. The first thing you see when you come to her is that, oh, she's moving over to Blue Sky. Okay, why? Already, I'm like, really? You're going to Blue Sky? Okay, you say no more. Okay, you people in your Blue Sky safe space echo chamber, you gotta have some balls to hack it out on X. You gotta stay on X. What do you think? Here, do you think that people like myself, you do something publicly, you have to have a thick skin or you get out of the game, right? People are going to hate you. People are going to criticize you. People are going to comment on you. That's just how it goes. So you can't all just be like, we're going to Blue Sky. We're leaving. We can't handle it. Most of the people that go to Blue Sky that I see on my social media are all people that worked for legacy media, or they still work for legacy media, and they got to go there. Like people who were my friends, who I feel bad naming, but they're all like, oh, I'm going to Blue Sky. Well, you look foolish. You look like you can't stand the heat, so you get out of the kitchen. Anyway, back to a little more of Nikki Sharma, okay? Because I don't know that much about her. So she's going to Blue Sky. And just looking at some of her tweets, she's got a lot of John Horgan stuff here. That's too bad that he passed. So rest in peace. I mean, she loves her David Eby. This is her jam. After a close and hard-fought campaign, British Columbians have asked us to keep working to make life better for them. Well, you haven't, because you've been in power for 2 years. But but she did have a post here about something derogatory about John Rustad, and I don't like seeing this type of stuff. You should be professional. She's put some stupid post about him. It's like, I don't see him doing that kind of stuff to her, right? So be professional. I find that the liberal NDP people are so venomous and critical against the people that they don't like. Even this Josie Osborne woman, again, she says here that John Rustad has not fired this candidate is the epitome of weak leadership. I mean, she's criticizing Brent Chapman, who's very popular, who won in a landslide vote in his riding. People like Brent Chapman. I've met him. I like him too. I mean, maybe, people say things years ago, you're going to still hang that over your head. You liberal NDPs are still saying dumb things day in, day out. Nobody hangs that stuff over your head. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not too fond of these Libby types. These are not my people. And I also don't like people being so rude and so slanderous and so mean-spirited to the other side, because I don't see the conservatives as being like that. They just call things as they see it, yet they get name called. You get called all kinds of names. Everybody's sick of this crap. But anyway, a little bit more about the cabinet. Here's a little piece breaking it down. This is from Rob Shaw.
Promoted from Jobs Minister to Finance Minister, a huge portfolio during a cost of living crisis. And Tofino's Josie Osborne promoted to Health Minister from the Energy portfolio, a massively challenging job during ER closures, citing rural health care, the Premier in one of the choices for Josie Osborne. Here is Osborne. Okay, back to the cabinet. The Mental Health Ministry eliminated, folded into Health. So that minister, Jennifer Whiteside, is moved to Labour. Gary Begg, the comeback kid who won the NDP their majority by flipping Surrey Guildford by 22 votes, rewarded with the post of Solicitor General. He's also a former RCMP officer. Adrian Dix, BC's longest-serving health minister, moved to the Energy Ministry, which has lost mining but has picked up Clean BC and climate initiatives. Lisa Baer, moving from tourism to education. Jody Wickens becoming her Minister of State for Child Care. And a new mining and critical minerals portfolio with new Minister Jag Group Brar. Bowen Mott now in an infrastructure ministry to fast-track projects like new schools. The island here, you can see the MLAs who made cabinet, 6 of the 27 ministers, but some new faces. Ravi Parmar in Langford is taking over the forest ministry. Sheila Malcolmson retaining social development. Grace Lohr retaining children and family development. And Oak Bay's Diana Gibson, a rookie, called up right away as the new jobs minister. Plus, Saanach's Lana Papa moving back to agriculture, a portfolio she often talked about how much she loved. New faces to cabinet. Randy Neal in the water, lands and resource portfolio. Mike Farnworth moved to transportation. Spencer Chandra Herbert in tourism. Christine Boyle in Indigenous relations. Kelly Green, emergency management. Tamara Davidson in environment, which takes on parks.
Okay, a couple of things there. So Adrian Dix, that ever-loving, science lover, follow the science, Mr. Adrian Dix, he's now going to be the Minister of Energy and Climate Solutions. Oh, God. He already thinks that Bonnie Henry is some sort of genius. He doesn't acknowledge any of the things that we need him to acknowledge when he was Minister of Health. I mean, he was there through all the, I don't know how many press conferences I did with Adrian Dix, boring the crap out of us for COVID-19. And then they put on the Bonnie too. And it was just like, it'd make you want to pull your hair out listening to these things. With not only did they say stupid things, they said them in the most dull voice that you can ever even imagine. But somebody who didn't know anything about health is also going to be the Minister of Energy now. What does he know about energy and climate solutions? It's going to be more of this sort of ridiculous, you are the carbon they want to reduce crap. I'm not into that. So that's the cabinet shuffle. Nobody likes the NDP. We can't believe they got in. But let's see what they do. I don't have any faith in what they're going to do whatsoever. Also, just one more note before I move on. Whenever there's like a cabinet shuffle or cabinet picks or whatever, I always find that like really sort of interesting, is that how someone could be like the Minister of Emergency Management or the minister of mining, like that Josie Osborne was involved in energy mines and low carbon innovation. And now she's going to be minister of health. So what did that mean? It's not all about just building hospitals. It's you have to have people to staff those hospitals. You have to have good working conditions for doctors, for nurses, for healthcare. You kind of have to reduce everybody just going into administration, because you need people who are kind of like the boots on the ground, people who are looking after people. There's a lot involved in healthcare. And if you're a woke person, your ideas are not going to jive with a majority of people in BC. We are not going to agree with a lot of your decisions if you don't acknowledge that what you did to people by forcing a certain thing was the wrong thing to do. So I don't know. I don't think that this woman agrees. So I'm not too impressed with this Josie Osborne as the health minister. And, all of a sudden, like, you're minister of one thing and then you get changed into the minister of the other. So how much expertise and knowledge do you have in that different industry? I don't know. I've always sort of wondered that. But also this happens in the States too. You don't need to be a doctor to be in charge of like um, health or HHS or whatever, right? So it's kind of like that's how it goes. But I do always find it curious, like a curious thing. You better bloody figure it out. You people are skating on thin ice.